Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are having a great day. So, here's my second attempt of me trying to do this. So, if you guys can't see, this is obviously from the devil or the demon, or from Black Clover. You know, the one that Asta and Yuno are going against. The one who can basically make anything happen with just his words alone. Yeah, him. His name is Zagred, okay? So that's Z-A-G-R-E-D. Zagred. The name of the devil's name is Zagred. Yeah, the devil's name is Zagred. Yeah, so Yeah, the devil's name is Zagred, and he's like a very high-ranking devil. So, I was thinking, you know, it'd be very interesting to see what if Asta could do this. What if he had Zagred's power? What if Zagred was living inside of him? So, and I said, you know what? And then another thought popped into me. Well, what if Asta had to, balance out both of the devils? So, he had to balance out Zagred and the anti-magic devil. Now, Zagred's magic is, the Japanese translation, it says it's Kotodama magic, but the English translation, it has 3 different translations. There's, devil word soul magic, demonic word soul magic, or hell word soul magic. So yeah, devil word soul magic, demonic word soul magic, and, hell word soul magic. Or it can just so devil word soul magic. I'm just gonna call it devil, or you know what, no, but just for short, I'm just gonna call it word soul magic. But whenever he wants to summon those things, open up the portal from hell, I'm gonna call it hell word soul magic. So yeah, because he's going to be, so he's going to say hell or demonic word soul magic. And he's going to start talking in hell language. Sorry, guys. He's going to start talking in hell language when he's going to, do all that to summon all the demonic stuff. So, Zagred and the anti-magic devil are going to be inside Asta. Now, Asta is going to get 2 grimoires. He's going to get Zagred's 5-leaf clover grimoire, and he's going to get the anti-magic devil's 5-leaf clover grimoire. So, again, I'm going to say this once and one time only. He's going to get Zagred's 5-leaf clover grimoire, and he's going to get the anti-magic devil's 5-leaf clover grimoire. So, when and Zagred is actually going to make contact very early with Asta. Like, basically the moment he gets it, Zagred is going to start talking to Asta, and basically Asta is going to want to unleash. Obviously Asta wants to get strong as possible, and basically between Zagred and the anti-magic devil, both of them are going to be basically fighting. Well, not really fighting, more like competing. Basically saying, "Oh no, Asta's going to use more of my magic," and the other one's going to say, "Nuh-uh, Asta's going to be using more of my magic." And then Asta, he's going to basically be like the voice of reason, saying, "Hey, I'm going to use both of y'all's magic, so both of you shut up." Now, obviously, they're going to be like, Asta's going to kind of, more like a partnership than a friendship. More like, hey, our interests are equal, are in a line, so why don't we put away all of our petty differences? Because, look, if I die, you all die. Now, I know what you guys are saying. Wait, but that's just going to cancel out their power. Let's just say, for the sake of this what if, let's just say it is possible that they're not going to cancel each other out. But later on down the road, they're going to be like all three of them are going to be in total perfect sync, that they're basically just going to be unstoppable. But obviously, Asta is going to master Zagred's demonic word soul magic. He's going to master Zagred. Yeah, he's going to master Zagred and his demonic magic. And then he's going to master the anti-magic devil's demonic magic. And whenever he masters Zagred's demonic magic, this is what he's going to look like. When he completely transforms and gives his body over to Zagred, this is what he's going to look like. But he's going to tell like Zagred, okay, I'm giving you control, but I'm going to be watching, making sure that you ain't going to be doing all this slaughtering and killing everybody who gets in your way. And Zagred's going to be saying, fine, whatever. And this is exactly what Asta's going to look like when he gives his body over to Zagred, whenever he's not using the anti-magic devil's power. Alright, but without further ado, let's get into this what if. Alright, so our story will start. I'll be right back, guys. Hold on. I thought I heard someone call my name. Sorry about that, guys. Alright, so last time let's see, where did I... Oh yeah, Asta and Yuno are dropped off at the church. Of course, the father, the priest, not the father, but the priest takes them in, of course adopts them. Now, in terms of, will Asta have magic in this? In a way, yes. He will have magic. Because I did say he's going to have both Zagred and the anti-magic devil inside of him. He's going to have the devil Zagred. Yeah, the devil, he's going to have the devil Zagred and the anti-magic devil. Both of them are going to be inside of him. So, he's getting the anti-magic devil, and he's getting Zagred the devil. And that is his actual race, is a devil. He is a devil. So, yeah. But anyway, as they're growing up, sometimes, like they can't really get a reading on Asta. Like, sometimes, like, his power is just, like, out of control. So, how Asta is going to be in this one, he's still going to be the same Asta we all know. But Asta is going to be a little bit more, how should I say, more brutal to his enemies, in a way. Whenever he fights like brutally, ruthless. And, oh my god, are you serious? Hold on, guys. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Okay, so alright, so Asta and Yuno, they get dropped off at the church. Of course, the priest takes them in. Asta, he's always been, I mean, he's still the same Asta that you know. He's just more brutal when he's fighting. And ever since Asta was a little kid, they've been having a hard time, been trying to figure out what his magic is. Because, like, they feel like this gigantic, immense magical pressure. It feels like it's going to crush them. It's probably even bigger than that of a royal. Of course, this would be Zagred, the devil Zagred, dwelling within him. That's who they're feeling this immense magical pressure coming from. And then, all of a sudden, it just stops. Now, this is because of the anti-magic devil. And guys, you know what? Even though we don't know his name, I'm just going to give him a name because I'm getting tired of calling him anti-magic devil. I'm just going to call him Astaroth, okay? Astaroth. So, if you guys hear me say Astaroth, and you're probably saying, who's Astaroth? I never heard of him. It's just a name that I made up to give to the anti-magic devil, okay? Well, that's because, alright, and because I get tired of calling him the anti-magic devil, okay? Too many words, okay? Alright, so Astaroth and Zagred, okay? So, Astaroth, he is dwelling within, and the anti-magic is canceling. So, it's constantly switching. So, Asta, he still trains his body, because he still has to train his body in order to wield the swords. So, obviously, he does upper body strength, lower body strength, cardio, workouts, and let's just say, for the sake of it, let's just say he did CrossFit, even though I'm pretty sure they don't know what CrossFit is. So he did core training, is what I'm trying to say. And he also read a lot, so he's actually pretty smart. But he's still hyperactive and he still acts cheerful. But when he gets in a fight, right, like he just gets brutal. So him and Yuno, they're constantly hanging out with one another. And, they're brothers, right? So they're just basically, well, they're like brothers. They're not actually brother. They're just like brothers. So, anyway, Asta and Yuno, they've been training most of their life. Yuno, he has very strong wind magic. Of course, he will also be getting the 4-leaf clover grimoire. Yuno is. Make sure nobody misinterprets what I'm saying here, okay? Because I actually had that happen, where I said something and somebody took it out of context. So, no, that's not what happened, okay? I'm stating this now, so do not take me out of context. I'm watching some of you. And the reason why I'm saying this is I'm not mad. It's just, like, I really don't want to go down in the comment section and give, like, this whole big, gigantic explanation of why I didn't say that and telling them that I actually knew that and all that. Because, well, I do know it, and I don't want somebody taking me out of context, okay? That's all I'm saying. I'm not mad. It's really hard to get me mad, okay? Like, really, you can try almost anything in the book and you won't get me mad. But anyway. Asta and, and thank you guys for telling me they were actually 14 that's when they get their grimoires, okay? So, time skip in the future. Asta and Yuno, they're both 14. Asta, he's still the same size, but whew. Alright, whew. I thought I had to sneeze. False alarm. I hate those, don't you? But anyway, it's time, like, 2 days before they have to go get their grimoires. Asta and Yuno, they're collecting firewood from one of the forests. And, of course, this is when they run into royals. Some butthole royals, okay? So, saying, oh, look at these peasants. And Asta, of course, he doesn't take bullcrap from people. He hates when people look down on others. Especially when royals do it. And of course he calls them pompous. Let's just say this. Starts with an A, ends with a hole. Alright. calls them a-holes, okay? So, basically, this is when, of course, one of them throws like a little tiny fireball at him. Not enough to do damage, but enough to kind of like kind of think of it as a needle pricking you in the finger, kind of like that. It's enough to like, oh, okay, you did that, all right. Just a little. It kind of felt like somebody pricked you. But Asta, this is when he just says, vanish. Well, actually, no. He doesn't use his word soul magic yet. Or his demonic devil hell. Well, not his, but Zagred's devil demonic hell word soul magic, or whatever you want to call it. I don't care what you call it, just I'm just gonna call it by all three, just to make sure that I don't hear nobody in the comment section down below, oh, it's this, no, it's this, and I'm like, oh my gosh, who cares? Like, bro, just let me do my what if, okay? All right, so shoot, okay, all right, so basically, Yuno just uses some wind magic and blasts away the fire. Little does he know Yuno kind of wasn't thinking at that point in time. Actually, you know what? I take that back, because, yeah. So, Yuno, he just creates a vortex and, well, he doesn't create like a big vortex. Well, he just creates a windshield, okay? Let's just say that. He creates a windshield. The fire collides with the wind, and of course, it makes a fire shield, and then, of course, he drops it, and when the wind dispersed, the flame dispersed, okay? So, a little bit of science. And Yuno just sends a wind blast, and it just knocks them out. And, of course, this will make the royals mad. Now, this is what they're going to have, like, a little revenge when they get their grimoires. Now, you guys are probably going to be wondering, alright, what's going to happen with the chain dude? Okay, he's actually going to be working for the royals instead of, the black market and all that. So, what this means is that, they're not really going to be... Asta and Yuno won't have really anything against the royals because they don't really see them as a threat. But Asta, he just kind of... He's not quite... Like I said, he's still the same Asta. He's just... When he fights, he's more brutal and he's intelligent in this. So, now if I had to give him... I'd probably give him like a... let's see. How high was Albert Einstein's IQ? Let's see. I think it was 105. I can't remember. Let's just say it was 105. So he has the intelligence of Albert Einstein. And whoever, you don't have to leave his actual IQ in the comment section down below. You don't have to do that, okay? I'm just going off of guess because I know it was like somewhere in the hundreds. I wasn't really paying attention when they said, oh, this is his IQ level. Oh, okay. But anyway, Asta and Yuno, they go home. 2 days later, it's time for them to get, well, their grimoires. So, of course, the same thing will happen. Asta's just kind of standing out there saying, hey, where's my grimoire? Actually, that's what he does say. He says, hey, old man, and I can't get Asta's voice because he's like really energetic and really loud, and I can't get really loud. Have some people sleeping downstairs, and yeah, I live upstairs, guys. So, and I can't really get loud, so yeah, sorry about that. But anyway, he says, "Hey, old man, where's my grimoire?" And, of course, the old man says, I don't know. Better luck next time. And of course, the priest, he's glad that got his grimoire. He says, well, Asta, maybe you just weren't supposed to get your grimoire. And of course, Asta says, nah, I'm supposed to be getting a grimoire. Little does he know, he's not just getting one, he's getting two. He's getting Astaroth's anti-magic 5-leaf clover grimoire, and he's getting Zagred's devil, demonic, hell, word, soul, magic 5-leaf clover grimoire, and yeah. But that's a little bit later on. Of course, afterwards, Asta, he gets up, he says, I'm still going to become the Wizard King. And this is when, just kind of closes his eyes and he just kind of turns around. And he doesn't really say a word. He just kind of like, oh, okay. Now, Yuno's really going to have just the same attitude. Yuno's really just staying the same. Really, it's just Asta who changes a little bit. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. Of course, Asta, he's thinking to himself, he's like, how come I didn't get a grimoire? He's like, I was supposed to be getting a grimoire. And this is when he kind of starts sinking. He's on the threshold of falling into despair. He hasn't fallen yet because, well, the chain dude hasn't told him, because remember when I said it kind of fluctuates with Asta? Because Zagred and Astaroth are inside of him, and they're constantly fluctuating. So, it looks like he has, a lot, but then all of a sudden it just vanishes. And it's like, whoa, what happened? When he gets wrapped up in the chains, that's when, right when the chains make contact, the magic just kind of drops down to 0 and wraps around him, and he starts telling him, oh, you don't have no magic power. And of course, this is when he just finally falls into despair. Now, the royals there, they're just, they're laughing at Yuno and Asta for, beating them up 2 days ago, because they can't let go of a grudge because, well, they're pompous. In the words of Asta, they're pompous a-holes who basically had a silver spoon in their mouth, and they never had to work for anything in their entire life. Yeah. Me and Asta are kind of the same in that regard. I'm sorry, guys. But anyway, this is when Asta hears a voice inside of his head. Of course, this would be Zagred, the devil, demonic, hell, word, soul, magic, devil. And then Astaroth will also said, here's our power, take it. And of course, Astaroth's anti-magic 5-leaf clover grimoire pops up, and then Zagred's 5-leaf clover words, devil, demonic, hell, word, soul, magic 5-leaf clover grimoire, it pops up, and now he has both. He has 2 5-leaf clovers, and of course, royals, they're surprised. He's surprised, and then the chain wizard dude is surprised. Zagred's grimoire opens up, and Zagred says, alright, here, we can make a little deal, you and I. If you give me control over your body. He says, if you give me your body, then you'll be able to use my powers to the fullest extent. And Asta's kind of thinking about this. He says, alright, however, I'm going to be monitoring. If I see that you do anything that I wouldn't do, then I'm going to take back over. And Zagred, he's like, well, you have a deal then. And of course, this is when Asta's body just starts morphing into what you see right here. horns sprout out. Asta's hair turns completely black, and his entire eyes just go red, and then and the pupils are all slit and black. And yeah, he looks. So what you see right here is just exactly like how Zagred looks. Now you guys are probably wondering, bro, why are you starting him off so OP? I like OP characters. Does that suffice your answer? I like OP characters. Sorry about that, guys. That was a little bit loud. And that was a little bit of a voice break. Okay, so yeah, what Asta looks like right now is just perfectly, exactly like what you see right here. And now his magic power is just through the roof. Now, meanwhile, in Asta's mental landscape, he's hanging out with Astaroth. He says, hey, how about you give me control of He says, well, I guess we can start off small. You just can give me control over your right arm whenever you're using my power. And Asta says, so what's your power? And he says, my power is anti-magic. And just exactly like it sounds, I negate all forms of magic. Meanwhile, Zagred saying to Asta, says, well, Zagred is in the real world because Asta has taken the back seat and Zagred has taken the front seat. And basically, Zagred looks just exactly how he looks like in this picture right here. Well, Asta looks exactly just how, he looks exactly just like how Zagred looks like right here in the picture. But it's Zagred, so it looks like Zagred, but it's actually Asta's body. But it's because Asta's body is so physically, it's more because judging by but let's just say, you know what, no, let's just say the body toned looks more just like Zagred's, okay? Let's just say that. The muscle wise and stuff like that. Whenever Zagred gives control back to Asta will go back to his normal size and his normal muscle structure and all that. Zagred says, time for you Ningans, or that's Japanese for humans. I have to kind of explain that, but anyway, humans. He says, you humans really irritate me, but I can't wait to play with you all and just make you drown in infinite despair. He says, and the chain wizard dude's freaking out. He's like, huh? If you guys are probably wondering, the chains have completely vanished because, well, one, the transformation happened and the boost in power obviously happened. So Zagred says, he says, the chain wizard dude sends chains flying at Zagred, and Zagred's 5-leaf clover grimoire opens, and he says, vanish. And of course, the chains vanish, and the guy's like, huh? And he says, and Zagred's like, what's wrong? You don't seem that cocky now without your little magic. Not that you had a chance anyway, weakling. And of course, when he said weakling, his the chain wizard's dude, his magic power just dropped by 50%. And of course now he's really freaking out because he's like, what the heck is going on? And this is when Zagred says, storm of blades. And this is when you just see a storm of blades start raining down and piercing and stabbing and killing the chain wizard dude. He says, now for you royal scumbags. He says, and this is when Asta says, hey, don't teach them a lesson, but don't kill them. He says, oh, what about the chain dude? He says, I don't really care about him. I just don't want to hear these royals coming down on my family just because as much as they deserve to get killed, unfortunately, we can't. I don't need to become a criminal right away. He says, oh, can you do something about that chain wizard dude's body? And Zagred's like, Of course. And he says, matter of fact, this is when he points to the dead body. He says, disintegrate. And this, of course, is when the dead body would disintegrate, leaving no trace. And of course, since the Chain Wizard dude died, his grimoire also got destroyed. So, and he says, well, he told me that I can't kill you, but I am supposed to make you suffer, because if any of you ever come back at us again, he gave me full clearance to kill you all. And now the royals, they're just peeing their pants. He's just like he's amazed, but at the same time he's terrified, because he's never felt magic power. He feels like he's getting crushed by this. If he feels like he says, and they're like saying, how much magic power are you using? He's like, oh, me? 2%. And Yuno's just surprised. He's like, he's just using 2%? You mean he's been holding back? And this is when he says, Iron Lance. And of course, this is when Iron Lance has started coming out of nowhere, piercing the royals. Now, it doesn't kill them, it misses all their vital organs, but it does pierce them and injure them. He says, now then. He says, go home. And this is when they get teleported, and, well, they're at their houses. And they're, like, screaming in agony. And, of course, I'm pretty sure the royal's dad. And this is when Asta says, hey, Zagred. Or he says, hey, you, what's your name again? He says, oh, you can call me Zagred. He says, and Asta says, can I have back control of my body? And he says, oh, and by the way, am I going to be looking like this forever? He says, no, you can, I'll just simply revert your body. And of course, Asta regains control of his body, and he starts morphing back into his normal, regular self. And Yuno says, now that's what I expect out of my rival. And let's just say, for the sake of it, one more a thug comes out of nowhere, right? Now, Asta has already put Zagred's 5-leaf clover grimoire back in its book in the grimoire holder. Astaroth's anti-magic 5-leaf clover grimoire has not went back into his grimoire holder. This is when he pulls out the Demon Slayer sword. He pulls it out, and with incredible physical speed, he just knocks this dude out, canceling out all his magic, and he puts the Demon Slayer sword back. And this is when Asta and Yuno then proceed to head home. Alright guys, so I'm going to give you guys a little treat. I'm actually going to make this an hour-long video, so get ready for this. And I am going to catch it up to my what if Asta had Gen Magic and Anti-Magic what ifs. So I'm going to catch it up, and it's going to be, let's see, Asta just joined the Black Bulls, and Asta will be joining the Black Bulls. So, yeah. But him and Yuno says, hey, Asta, can we go to your little training place? He says, I don't think I've ever been there, but you want to, go hang out, celebrate, train, or something like that? And Asta's like, sure, why not? This is when Asta and they go to the Demon's Skull. Now, this is when they would proceed to train and test out their new spells. Well, obviously, Asta's using the Demon Slayer sword, and, he's training with, Now, the priest and Sister Lily and all the kids, they don't know Asta has, well, they don't know he has any grimoire yet, let alone 2. So, Yuno takes a look at Asta's grimoires, and he says, 5-leaf clover, huh? He says, so I guess that means you got not only did you get 2 grimoires, but you also got 2 grimoires that is a clover higher than mine. He says, so what does a 5-leaf clover mean? And of course, Asta automatically answers, inside of a 5-leaf clover grimoire resides a devil. And of course, Yuno's like, huh. And I'm pretty sure Yuno, he's like, oh, okay then. Like, he's just like, no questions asked. Don't need any more further explanation. He says, Asta, now we both definitely know we can both easily become the Wizard King if we wanted to. And Asta and Yuno, of course, they continue training. Asta has been training with his Demon Slayer sword. And he's actually been figuring out how to, do this. Now, Asta, he doesn't know anything about Ki yet, so he can't access his black form yet. But he will learn about Ki from Yami. Asta's saying, alright, there has to be a way for me to be able to use both of these without having to switch them out constantly. And Yuno says, well, this is just a theory, but... And Asta says, yeah. He says, well, just just imagine trapping, like, I don't know, like, just imagine, like, the anti-magic, all of it being held in one place. And of course, Asta's saying, well, since I'm holding it with my right, this is when he starts image training. Now, he isn't holding on to the key. This is just something to him, allow for him to use both of the grimoires at once without having to exert too much, how should I say, power exhaustion. Without having to switch them out constantly, and because, well, one, that's valuable time, and I'm pretty sure an enemy wouldn't let you switch out another grimoire if one of your, because, well, one, that's an, if I was an enemy and I saw somebody trying to switch out, that's going to be my opportune moment to strike. So Asta's trying to figure out how to, like, use both of them at the same time. So he just imagines, and then, of course, this works. He just imagines all the anti-magic just stop within his arm while he's using the anti-magic grimoire. This is when Asta pulls out Zagred's Devil, Demonic, Hell, Word Soul 5-leaf clover grimoire. And it comes, and of course, it opens. The Zagred's 5-leaf clover grimoire opens. Well, Asta's, but we all know who it actually belongs to. It actually belongs to the devil, but the devil's just allowing him to use it because, well, he's his vessel, he's his host. But anyway, sorry about that, guys. So anyway, this is when he just basically, how should I say this? He opens Zagred's, the devil Zagred's 5-leaf clover grimoire to use the Word Soul magic. And Astaroth and Zagred are saying, well, so it seems like you figured out how to use us both in unison without us canceling out each other's powers. Well, that's good. And this is when Asta's looking at Zagred's, the devil Zagred's, Zagred, the devil Zagred. He's looking at his 5-leaf clover grimoire and looking at the words, and he says, alright, Asta, hit me with a wind spell. And Asta says, Yuno says, wind bullet. And Asta says, vacuum barrier. This is when shield of wind comes out, and it negates the wind bullet, because two elements going against each other cancel each other out. Now, of course, Asta's finally said, wow, I guess your theory's right. He's like, well, like I said, it was just a theory. It wasn't really... He says, well, Asta, you've not only gotten a clover that's higher than a 4-leaf, but you also got 2 of them that are both higher than a 4-leaf clover. He says, well, I guess this means I have to step up my ante if I want to become the Wizard King, huh? And Asta says, well, you know what they say. It's not how strong your power is, but it's what you do with it and how you use it. And Yuno just kind of like shakes his head in agreement. Asta puts the Demon Slayer's sword back in Astaroth's 5-leaf clover grimoire and closes it, and then he closes Zagred's 5-leaf clover grimoire and closes it, and puts them both back into the grimoire holders. Alright, so basically they keep training. Asta's still working on his body and all that. So, and he hasn't made a deal yet, because Astaroth says you need to learn how to let my energy flow within you in order for us to actually make the deal. And he says, huh? He's like, I'm pretty sure you'll learn it from somebody. And of course, yeah. But anyway, 42, so a few more. So Asta and Yuno, they continue training for about a few weeks. So it's time for the Magic Knights exam. Now, of course, the priest and Sister Lily and all the kids, they were surprised when, about Asta's, unexpected, what happened and all that. So yeah. But anyway, a few weeks later, it's time for the Magic Knights exam. Of course, the church gives Asta and Yuno some supplies to go to the, some stuff that they need for their journey, getting there, because I think it's like a 2-day walk. Yeah, it's like a 2-day walk. So Asta and Yuno, they start walking, and they basically just, hold on, guys. Alright, sorry about that, guys. So alright, so let's see. I'm trying to figure out where I last left off. It's been a little while since I paused it. So, oh yeah, so Asta and Yuno, they are traveling on the road to go to the royal capital. Guys, so from now on, when I start doing Black Clover what ifs, I'm just going to refer to it as the royal capital, because, well, really, it is the royal capital. I mean, so technically I'm not lying. But anyway, it's like a 2-day walk from there. So they encounter, Asta and encounter beasts, a few bandits, thieves, and stuff like that. Of course, easily defeating them like they're nothing, because these are like 2-leaf clovered thieves, or 3 leaves. So really, they're not really that much of a threat. I mean, not to say that 3-leaf clover users aren't a threat. I mean, look at Yami. Look at freaking, just look at all the captains. I mean, they have 3 leaves and they're like freaking strong. So, really, I mean, it's all about how, like I said, guys, it's not how strong the power is, it's how you use it. So, really, it's up to you how you use that power. If you use it stupid, then yeah, you're not really gonna. Now, if it is a very strong power, like even still, it's about how you use it. So, but other than that, moving on. So this is when we see Asta and Yuno. They make it into the royal capital. I'm gonna say they have 2 hours before the Magic Night exams start. So obviously they get information of where they're supposed to go. Asta starts looking. Now, we just now recently got information on, like, I don't know how far you guys are on the Black Clover manga. So the new chapter just dropped. So chapter 261. So so basically we find out that Asta can actually get, when he gets new weapons, the anti-magic devil, or in this case Astaroth, will imbue it with his anti-magic, and he can add it to his grimoire, add it to his arsenal. And each weapon will have their own unique thing, depending on how it was used before it got to Asta's hand. And Asta can also change how to use it. Now, I won't tell you which sword he gets and whose sword he gets, because I am not a spoiler. Who am I kidding? Yes, I am. But anyway, I'm not going to spoil it for you guys. I'll at least give you guys that much. Now, of course, I'm not that far in the chapter. Now, you may be wondering, how do you know? Well, let's just say one of my YouTubers that I watch, yeah, it kind of dropped, and so I was like, oh, well, thanks for spoiling it for me. Not that I don't mind spoilers, so to me it doesn't really affect, because then it makes me even more excited to when I get to that point to figure out how they got it. So really, I don't like it. Because it just makes me more excited. Like, for some people, when they hear about spoilers, it's like, come on, dude, you spoiled it. But like, for me, spoilers are like, it's like a preview to like, oh my gosh, yes, more. Because if that happened, just imagine, like, later on down the road, what else could happen? You know, if that could happen, what else could happen, Like, I'm a theorist, so I like making theories for animes, or really about anything that I like making theories about it. So, but anyway, moving on. I'm getting off topic. But anyway, they have about like 2 hours before. So Asta's like looking at swords, axes, and stuff like that. And so Yuno says, hey, Asta, we should probably get to the arena. And Asta says, yeah, I guess you're right. Let's go. So, and I'm going to say it takes from where they're at, it takes at least about another hour to get to the arena. So, of course, they get there with another hour to spare. So, really, they're just kind of just sitting there waiting. Like waiting, how should I put it? Like waiting to get into a concert, and it's like, and they're having you wait in the line for an hour. Yeah, I know, I hate it. I went to a concert oh my god, no, okay, stop. That can wait until the end of the video, stop. Okay, so anyway, basically, how this is going. Alright, so basically Asta and Yuno, they were the first ones there. The Magic Knight captains and stuff, they were already there, obviously getting ready for the preparations. And of course Yami sees Asta and he's like, so, hey kid, well, he's like, out of my way. You know how Yami is. He's like, alright, move. Like, get out of my way, twerp. But anyway, he sees both Asta and Yuno, he's like, get out of my way. And Asta says, hey, can you kind of apologize? And he says, and Yami says, huh? And of course, you know how Yami grabs people's heads and starts squeezing. He's like, listen here, you little twerp. And of course, Asta's like, hey, okay, you can calm down. You can calm down. And this is when Asta just starts lifting. He's like, I said you can let go now. And Yami says, huh, you got some lot of strength, huh? Now, Asta, during the 2 days of them traveling, he has learned how to balance Zagred and Astaroth and their powers and stuff within himself. So that way it doesn't feel like it's constantly fluctuating and stuff like that. So basically, Asta and Yuno, of course, another hour goes by, so it's time for them to get the grimoires registered. They do that, of course. Same thing what I did in the Jinn and anti-magic video. I did in that, so alright, so basically after they get accepted to go in and stuff. Hold on, guys, one more thing, and then last time, I promise, last time. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Had to take care of something. Alright, so alright, here we go. So we're getting, let's see. Alright, so yeah, it's time for them to take the exam. So I'm just gonna bypass all the, really all the, you know, broom flying and all that, because to me that really doesn't matter. What really matters is the fight. So, William Vengeance, however you want, leader of the Golden Dawn, however you want to call him, whatever you want to call him. He says, any of you can choose any person in this arena who you want to fight. Or if you want to prove yourself even more, you can fight more than one person. Well, this is when Asta says, well, he did say anyone in this arena, and the captains, well, they happen to be in this arena. So, and they did say we can challenge more than one. So, let's see. Nah, I don't want to humiliate them, but I do want to increase my chances of getting in. So, I guess, And then Asa kind of has like this little flashback of Yami, you know, picking him up and squeezing his head. He's like, I want to fight that guy, but until I know more about what his magic can do. And this is when Zagred says that human has some dark magic. He says, well, I guess I could, but no. This is when Asta says, no, I don't need to be exposing my true power right now. For right now, I just need to, I guess I could use, no, even still, even if I use Astaroth's Demon Slayer sword, even then that still might not be enough. Let's see. I need to pick an opponent. He says, hey, which one do you think it's probably... He says, well, anybody but that Black Bulls guy. That one with the tank top on. And he says, the one with the cigarette in his mouth? He says, yes, that one. Anybody but him. And this is when Asta says, I choose... When it comes to him, I mean, he says, I choose Nozzle Now, I'm pretty sure he's not going to know who the name, so he chooses, so he's not going to say Nozzle because, well, one, he hasn't met Nozzle, so therefore he doesn't know his name, so, yeah. He says, the white-haired dude and the Golden Dawn dude. And everybody's surprised. They're saying, hey, you can't challenge captains, and this is when William says, actually, he can challenge us. Because if you were all paying attention, and I'm guessing you guys weren't paying attention, I said anyone within this arena can be challenged. And look at that. Us captains are in this arena. So therefore, we can be challenged if we want to. And, of course, William says, very well then. I shall give you what you want. He says, I'll tell you what. If you can last about 5 minutes, I'll let you join the Golden Dawn. He says, no, wait, I take that back. If you can last 1 minute, I'll let you join the Golden Dawn. Regardless of all your previous tests, I'll let you join the... If you can last at least 1 minute against me, you can join the Golden Dawn. And this is when Asta says, this might be a good chance for me, actually. He says, but... I guess... No. And of course, and Asta says, well, what if I beat you? He says, well, if you beat me, well, you can automatically choose any team you want of your own choice. And Asta says, well, challenge accepted. And he says, well, don't get too cocky. Now, remember, he's going up against two captains. So, he's going against Nozzle and he's going against William. From both fronts. He says, alright, Astaroth. This might be a good time for me to use your sword. He says, go ahead. Just remember to keep my power separate from Zagred's. And he says, yeah, I know. And this is when he opens up both of... And, of course, everybody's surprised, hey, he has 2 grimoires. Okay. Now this makes everybody want him even more. Except for Nozzle, because Nozzle's... At this point, Nozzle's still a huge douchebag, so... Basically, Asta says, Storm of Blades. And, of course, a Storm of Blades comes out of nowhere. Now, it's not as strong when he's, when he's not in, he calls it Zagred, the devil form. Zagred, devil form. Well, just, he calls it his devil form. Well, it is a devil, well, Zagred, yeah. Well, Zagred is a devil, so he calls it his devil form, but he calls it, he just calls it Zagred devil form. That still doesn't sound... He just calls it his Zagred form. Or he just calls it his devil form. Because Zagred is a high-ranking devil. So, therefore, he is Zagred is a devil. Gosh, I'm just confusing myself. Alright, Zagred is a devil. There. His species is a devil. He's a devil. He's a high-ranking devil. Okay? There. Done. Okay. See, guys. I hate when I do this to myself. I'm sorry. Just pretend I didn't say any of that. Okay? Pretend that whole fiasco never just happened. Okay? So, he doesn't go into his devil form. And, of course, by this, I mean, he didn't let Zagred take over, and his body didn't transform into Zagred. He didn't transform into Zagred's devil form. Okay, alright, you guys know what I'm talking about, okay? There, done. He didn't but when he's in that form, he gets a major power boost. So, Storm of Blades is a whole lot more stronger and more powerful, but don't get me wrong, Storm of Blades is still powerful when Asta's in control. even when he's not in his devil form. And of course, he says storm of blades, and of course, William and Nozzle are dodging out of the way, and he says iron lance, and of course, iron lances shoot out of the ground. They're like, okay, so now they're actually feeling the pressure because Asta's putting a lot of pressure on them, and now the captains are on the balcony. They're getting really interested in they're getting really excited. They can't believe that a commoner, a peasant, is actually giving the captains a lot of trouble. And Vengeance says, I think Vengeance has plant magic. I can't remember. Can you guys tell me what magic Vengeance has, or William has? I forgot what it was. I can't remember it exactly right. I think it's plant magic, though. I could be wrong, though. My memory's just not doing good right now, okay, guys? I'm sorry. So, of course, this goes on for about 2 minutes without them even realizing. For them, it just feels like a few seconds, but it's actually been 2 minutes. But nobody's stopped the fight because everybody's just, like, involved and engrossed of what's going on. And, basically, William and Nozzle, they haven't been able to make one attack because, well, Asta's been saying a lot of words. And whenever they do actually get to somehow form an attack, Asta just says vanish. And, of course, the magic attack just vanishes. I mean, it disappears. I mean, so everybody's just like, and Asta says, all right, time to finish this up. And he just uses his raw physical speed and knocks both of them out. And, of course, everybody's just, like, on their feet with their mouths dropped, with their jaws dropped, and everybody's just clapping and smiling that, holy crap, this kid is freaking strong. Even Yuno, well, he's more excited than anything else. So his jaw's not dropped. He's just excited that, Now, the Seke dude, yeah, him, he's just like slowly backing up. He's like, I probably shouldn't have messed with this kid, frick. And he says, all right. This is when he puts the Demon Slayer sword back into Astaroth's grimoire, and he puts both Zagred's and Astaroth's grimoire back into their grimoire. I'm stumbling over my words. Their grimoire holders. And of course, when William and Nozzle come to, they're like, now William, he's excited because, somebody was actually able to beat him who wasn't a captain. So he's actually excited. So everybody wants him except for Nozzle because Nozzle's still a huge douche. So he doesn't care like how impressive the magic. If he ain't royal, get out of my face. Now, Asta's like choosing, and he's like, I choose the Black Bulls. And Yami, you just see this huge, gigantic smile just come on his face, and he's like, oh yeah, I just got the strongest candidate out of this year's bunch to join the Black Bulls. He says, this is going to be one interesting year. And he says, all right, time for you to join. But before that, Asta and Yuno said, all right, next time we see each other, it's going to be at the festival. Well, not the next time, but like, you guys know what I mean. But like, anyway, yeah. So Yami asks, so kid, why did you choose our team? We're called the worst, right? He says, well, I believe the reason why you guys are called the worst is because you actually never put any effort into it. He says, oh yeah, I'm really going to enjoy this, kid. Alright guys, so I'm going to leave it off right here. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Tell me what you guys think. Subscribe. Leave a like, subscribe, comment down below. Tell me what you guys thought about this video. And don't forget to share this with all your friends on your social media platforms. But without further ado, guys, see you guys later. and peace out.